Awesome. Well, we should start to keep on schedule. So welcome everybody, startups, investors, partners. This is actually our 120th event. This is Pitch at EDE. I just wanted to thank HubSpot for those that joined us just before this. They did a webinar on inbound marketing and it was brilliant. HubSpot was our first growth partner and they continue to support us, which is amazing. So who are we? We are a very community-driven company where we bring together entrepreneurs, investors, partners, the VC groups, and of course, growth partners like HubSpot. So we thank everybody for your support and being part of this. We really couldn't do it without all of you. Our fund, it's called the Supporter Fund. We invest at the earliest stages in deep tech, fintech, and impact CPG. So this year, so far, that's how many people I've reviewed, 2,700. We've had 250 companies pitch so far, and we've added 20 growth partners to the community. Here's our milestone on where we started. I won't go through all of this, but OPN started back in 2016, and today we're on our third fund, the Supporters Fund. It's our first North American fund, which is really exciting. Here's Jeffrey and I. If you haven't connected with us, you can find us both on LinkedIn. We actually have a big announcement to make, but I can't tell you, and I'm not going to share it. Jeffrey's like, whoa. But you can watch on social media. It's pretty exciting.
I thought I was muted. Sorry.
I heard you go, oh. Oh boy. So these are the growth partners we have. We thank all of them for all the support that they've provided the community. Check them out. Anybody that you guys would like to see added to this, let us know. We have a lot that we have coming up as well. If you know anybody, I'm assuming you guys aren't looking to sell your startup, but if you know anybody that is, send them to our site. We've just added this recently and starting to look at that.
Very exciting part of our new agenda and where we're going. So we look forward to seeing lots of transactions and lots of cool things to come, but very exciting. Yeah,
for sure. Jeffrey sits down with investors every week. This week is 127 episodes. You can watch them all on wherever you watch your podcast. And of course, our website and YouTube. Join us on Slack. You can start communicating with the community today. So how does today work? We play the videos live. There's no live Q&A. We might have a chat after, as we talked about. If you have a question for a startup, put it in the chat. We are going to share a link. I did share it already, but I'll reshare it. Please vote for your favorite pitches. Last time people were like, I forgot who was who, so maybe write it down. We've added logos also to try to help you. Support all the companies. Even if you're pitching, support where you can. Encourage you to connect with everybody that you can and then just take it offline. For all the startups, if our fund would like to move forward with your company, we'll be in touch. Do not worry. Add us to your investor list and keep us in touch with your journey. So connect, support, give back, and don't forget, vote. And what do you get? You get to spend time with either Jeffrey or I. These are the amazing companies pitching today. I think I've talked to all of you and you're all fantastic.
Hello, everyone. My name is Moses Omueta. I'm the CEO founder of Tribease. We're inviting you to join the Tribe of Ease, a Nigerian fintech that settles your bills on purchase and lets you pay later. Addressing customer needs across lifestyle and hospitality is key through the access to immediate funds and ease of payment. Consider yourself in a store after picking up the items. Upon checkout, you realize you do not have enough money on it. Other stranded situations could occur where you are neither with your debit or credit card or a device to make transactions. That is why we developed a cardless credit card platform to offer buy now, pay later solution. We are building an ecosystem of users and merchants that allows customers to freely consume products and services from registered merchants and pay later. We have uniquely designed and developed different options to accommodate various users' behaviors and situations. And that is the selfie, which you could pay using a smile, token, QR code, and we have recently integrated to the POS terminal. Amongst the management team, we have 40 years cumulative experience amongst us, which we have other team members in customer support, acquisitions, partnerships, digital marketing, and of course, the developing team. We have successfully raised $150,000 from family, friends, angel investors, and we are currently seeking $300,000 to take care of other funding needs in marketing, talent, admin expenses, infrastructure development, and also expansion. We are inviting you to join the Tribe of Ease, and you can see the details below on your screen for us to discuss further. Thank you for listening, and we're looking forward to discussing more with you. Thank you.
Hello everyone, meet BKD, a toy manufacturer that wants to create a video for their toys on Amazon. The problem is we had limited marketing and video production experience. We consulted with multiple agencies and were given expensive solutions but just way out of their budget. When they finally settled on a partner, the studio didn't do any research and executed exactly as they were told, to create a video of kids playing with a toy. The video was targeted at children. The whole process took 10 days and cost $17,000. As a result, the client saw a slight increase in sales of 15%, which is not as great as they expected. As they were not happy with the outcome, they approached us for research. In less than 2 hours, the Remote AI identified that people watching toys advertisement were not the kids, but the parents and grandparents, which concentrates on safety, education, and the fun aspect of the toy. Once the video strategy was created, we connected them to one of our partners and it cost them $1,200 and was done in 4 days. And guess what? They saw an increase of over 70% in sales. It was 5 times more effective and 10 times cheaper. My name is Billy. I'm the co-founder of Remote, which helps you to grow your online presence on all key channels, all in one easy-to-use platform. Backed by Jen Lim, best known for Sophia the Robot. Remote is a video SEO with actionable insights. It helps you to save up to 80% on research time, increase sales and visibility by 50%, and save up to $144 if you were to combine other softwares to perform the same task. We've designed 9 tools to aid marketers with content creation, competitive analysis, video, and audience analysis. Remote is a subscription-based model that starts at $80 a month, all the way to $800 a month for enterprises. What makes us unique is that we're a video SEO, not just a content SEO, that work across platform and languages, our proprietary AI and partnership with 30 studios. Traction today includes a strategy partnership with 30 studios. We've completed 5 projects, 2 LOI, and 4 ongoing projects with Fortune 500 digital agencies and PR firms. Brought to you by a team of AI marketing and business experts. Here's a summary, and thank you for your time.
Sustained credits, the human damage to nature is huge. Together, we can solve it. It's like carbon credits, but grassroots. It's everything sustainability, not just climate.
It's a platform which allows people to collect sustained credits whenever they do activity. They can plant trees at home, local species, or can clear out waste from nature and dispose it correctly. It's the reward system. There's a lot of stick, but there's nothing of an incentive scheme. That's our aim.
Our goal is to incentivize the 7 billion people in the planet.
We've got Earth doctors.
Easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, heal the world. 2, send proof, photos, videos, and location for verification. 3, get sustained credits. We have in 81 countries. We planted over 21,000 trees.
How we raise money is in different ways, through companies, through individuals, through philanthropy, through government.
Uberization of sustainability. 80% go to Earth doctors. The digital currency angle is the execution route. It's like a scale, the total money in the cash reserve, the other side, total sustained credit circulation.
The idea is to increase the value so it can become a living wage. In some of the poorer parts of the world, these tend to be the most polluted and a lot of deforestation.
We have Earth's right, like copyright, work done to heal the world. world. Earth sponsor accreditation, the carbon credits of the trees that we have planted, the financial instrument for delivering philanthropy, SDGs, and the Paris Agreement. The future of sustained credits, the game, Earth.go or Pokemon Go, to plant trees, to clear up nature, to maintain nature. The local business and mark territory. Any Earth doctor playing the game can see their spend. Aramco, the largest oil company in the world, could mark the Sahara Desert for tree planting within that region. We'd like to have your support. Everything was built on a shoestring. It's a small team with our take on it and all acceleration. We are here to change the world. Get in touch and speak soon.
Hello, I'm Barto Castellano. I'm here to ask you one question. What do you think about to spend the winter here in Castellammare? Now with the village you can do in easy way. With a couple of clicks you need only to choose an hotel, a car, sport activity, entertainment or beautiful point of view. And after the trial period you can decide if you want to stay here. You can start a subscription plan. In this way, you can stay as long as you want here in Castellammare and enjoy our culture and our style of life in a slow way. So, come here with Village.
Hi, my name is Peter Lewis, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Worldcast Live. Along with myself, we have George Darren Skeet and Jackie Benton. Combined, we have expertise in the area of technology, media, and finance. We use that combined knowledge to be able to create the fan engagement platform for large and small events. With this fan engagement platform, we can do activations digitally and on-site for the event planner. Online, we use our low latency live interactive streaming to be able to handle pay-per-view, content management, and the live production interaction, either connecting to a live TV network or web-based to mobile or browser-based. On-site, we use the activation via our Universe app to create augmented reality rewards and loyalty points that fans can collect, retain in their digital wallet, and redeem using QR codes. With these processes, we can interact with users before, during, and after the actual event. We can aggregate the buying power of these fans and then direct the buying power of these fans to users or brands anywhere around the world. These buying powers can range from 500 to 1,500 depending on the actual event. So by harnessing the buying power, we increase the revenue of the event planner and also the brands. We are looking to raise $1 million and use that to be able to increase the growth in terms of marketing and IT. I can be reached at peter.lewis@Worldcast Live to learn more about this great interactive platform. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Cerelak from Turkey. I'm the CEO and founder of Integraphy company. Problem: existing non-integrable data systems that businesses use today are costly, unreliable, inefficient, and unresponsive. This results in poor and costly decisions making when serving the varying needs of a business customer. Solution: Integraphy has developed a platform that connects non-integrable datasets to enable businesses to make better and more timely decisions using a unique collaboration platform. We do this with the classification system. We produce special software for the same sectors with the SaaS B2B2B structure and ensure that they work together. And we provide competition with the classification system. We have a core team of 8 people. There are 5 people from Turkey, 3 people from London, Africa, and USA. All of them have a long and professional background in their field. And highlights: it has important steps such as classification structure, common path, black box, artificial intelligence trainings and post-exam recruitment, open data, arbitration commit, industry meeting rooms, and data clustering for different technologies. And thank you very much for your time, for your listening. Bye-bye.
Hi, welcome to Margin, the business intelligence platform for small to medium businesses. I'm Yoni Rubin, the CEO. There are 30 million small to medium businesses suffering in the US right now as we speak from a lack of sophistication around their finances and operations. The current tool set is not adequate. They don't have the budget for a CFO or an ERP, and so in comes Margin. We provide our small business users with future telling capabilities, not just a financial model, but what will that model look like in the future if certain events take place? You can simulate a variety of scenarios at the click of a button. You can derive insights from the platform around all of your KPIs, your hiring plans, your financing plans, and we're just changing the way small businesses currently work. So thank you so much. Again, my name is Yoni. Reach me at yoni@margin.ai with any questions or comments. Take care.
Hi, my name is Ren, and I'm a musician, software developer, and the founder of Timbre Labs. I recently wrote and performed the hit song Haley to #2 on the Billboard charts, generated 250 million impressions on TikTok, streamed over 30 million times on Spotify and other platforms, and collected over 1.5 million followers. But you may ask, how did you do that? Through data and technology. So what is Timbre Labs? We are the next generation music platform that applies machine learning and data science to music to identify high potential artists, give artists the data they need to break songs more predictably, and help them monetize and engage their fans by leveraging Web 2 and emerging Web 3 platforms. In the next 5 years, we want Timbre Labs to be the place where emerging artists can gather from all around the world to get the support they need to write and optimize their music to efficiently monetize their art. As you know, music creation is easier than ever, but generating a hit song is unpredictable, unprofitable, and I must say frustrating, especially for talented emerging artists. That's where we come in. Our world-class team of machine learning experts and data scientists and notable music industry leaders are leveraging massive amounts of recently available metadata from streaming platforms. We then combine that data with relevant trend data from various sources to train our machine learning models. We then apply customized data by geography and genre to analyze artists' music and enable them to write and optimize their songs to more predictively generate hit songs. You may ask why now? The music industry is going through tremendous change in the last 2 years. TikTok has taken over the music discovery process, which has been completely unprecedented. And also in the last few years, Spotify and streaming platforms are now the primary source of revenue for the emerging artists. An unprecedented treasure trove of music metadata and trend data is available if you know what you are looking for. Also, emerging artists are now successfully self-promoting their music on TikTok. We believe that we have the right combination, the team, the product, and the strategy to create the place where music and musicians from all over the world can go and receive the support they need to create great music. Thank you for listening, and we hope to be speaking with you soon.
So, you go to social media to message a friend, or to YouTube to watch a video. Next thing you know, you're trapped in their news feeds or recommendation videos. Congrats, you've been hooked. This was not a coincidence. It was well designed by million-dollar attention engineers to get you hooked so they can make more money off your time. Now, at best, it's going to take you half an hour to regain focus, aside from all the hours you're never going to get back. But wait, that's not all. Online distractions lose 1 to 2 hours daily, reduce our IQ by 10 points on average, and causes anxiety and sleep deprivation. Not anymore with BeTime Full. Once you download BeTime Full, automatically removes the distracting features from your social media platforms on all of your devices, so you can remain focused. Congrats, you just saved yourself from getting hooked again. Just download the app for free by going to betimeful.com. No credit cards, no signups, no BS. Download now and use it for free.
Our app allows you to invest in crypto with just a few clicks and much more effectively compared to just buying and holding the currency. All you have to do is just to connect your account with API keys, specify the desired position size. The system will do all the rest. The returns on Ethereum markets are 7%. Compared to the market performance of minus 64% over the same time period. Our core team consists of IT product builders and seasoned entrepreneurs. Overall, we built more than 50 digital products throughout our career for different businesses. We're quite agile, so we already made 4 pivots within the history of just this project, One Button Capital, built successful businesses before, together and worked within different teams. We're also quite cost effective. We can build a 30-head team with just less than 100K burn due to our experience in IT outsourcing. So far, we were fully bootstrapped. We created MVP and even get to early customers by self-funding. And we raised a small pre-seed last November. Currently, we're raising 2.28 million seed round to improve product development and invest into marketing. We will ultimately leave the lead investor to decide on the valuation and final terms. We're looking for strategic partners in finance, capital management, AI technology, and Web3 to help us to scale the product into different markets and investment networks, and also to help us with advisory in business and technology and other aspects. Feel free to connect by the email.
Hi, my name is Ambuda and I'm the founder and CEO of Lemonade. We are a refreshing take on luxury. We do luxury products at honest prices. Fairly insurgent proposition to a multi-decade-old phenomena of where luxury brands across New York or across North America and Europe would source from India and China at X, and then because of a complex supply chain of multiple layers as well as their own wild markups, they would end up pricing it significantly highly. In doing what they're doing, they would cater to a top 1% affluent elite, and therefore they have a scale bottleneck. However, the world is changing, and the new millennials, representing the next 10 to 20% of the population set, crave an upgrade in lifestyle. Therefore, would love to buy new, upgrade their quality of products and cater to and touch base with more aspirational brands. However, they don't have the disposable income. So we're making luxury more affordable for these millennials to upgrade their lifestyles. We've been blown away with early traction and early results. We're already we're hitting CM2 positive. I and my co-founder Gokul, we met at Zomato, which is now a $10 billion company in that part of the world. We've scaled multiple venture-backed consumer brands and marketplaces. We have a 10-member team. Everyone's worked in consumer, and we're backed by multiple awesome angel investors. We raised from in the concept stage. 350K at 5 mil is what we raised at, and now we're doing the next tranche of 350K at a 7.5 mil post-money valuation. We'd love for Open Network to consider us for a portion or for the complete round. My email ID is sambuda@lemonadestandventures.com. Look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Josh Barr, and I'm one of the co-founders of Brewst Protein Coffee. We're not just coffee, we're brewed coffee with a boost. There are millions of consumers looking for a product like Brewst, with 62% of North Americans drinking coffee daily. And on average, they have 3 cups of coffee a day. 30% of these consumers are looking to add additional functional benefits to their coffee, and more than half are looking to add more protein to their diet. We have 2 SKUs in market, our dark roast and our light roast, which have 20 grams of New Zealand grass-fed protein and a full cup of cold brew coffee. We're excited about our new 10-gram plant-based protein, which we're expecting to launch in March of 2023. We are committed to making the planet a better place. That's why we partnered with Tetra Pak for our packaging, which is 75% renewable and 100% recyclable. We have a lower carbon footprint than plastic, aluminum, and glass. Year over year, we've seen continued growth. In 2020, being a local regional brand, in 2021, growing nationally across the country with Loblaws, and in 2022, getting into Walmart. We've seen a 40% growth year over year this past year. Next year, we expect to be a $2 million business with growth and continued growth in retail, as well as with our additional marketing initiatives. We are looking for $500,000 to help us grow across Canada. $200,000 would be for inventory growth, and $200,000 would be for marketing. We put into paid social media ads, demoing opportunities, and announcing our partnership with Denis Shapovalov, Canada's top tennis player, for a once-in-a-lifetime promotion of playing tennis with Denis. Our team is poised for success. I worked in brand management at Nestle, bringing food and beverage products to life. We have Lori Williams, president of Roar Beverages, Dale Hooper, former CMO of Rogers and PepsiCo, and Andy Bayfield, former SVP of Dr. Pepper. Thank you so much for your time.
Hey, I'm Sarah, the CEO and founder of Blush Delivery. It might surprise you to find out that only 10% of baked goods and specialty food items are listed on big apps like DoorDash. This is a $200 billion market globally, so what is being missed here? Well, it is one simple, compelling, and structural reason. These items take hours or days to produce, not minutes, which puts them completely at odds with on-demand delivery services. So this is where Blush comes in. We have scrapped the operationally complex and expensive model of on-demand instant A to B delivery. Instead, you book 24 or 48 hours in advance and we ship up to 200 kilometers away for 10 or 15 bucks. Imagine fresh baked bread arriving from Toronto to your door in Kitchener-Waterloo later that day. It is an unbeatable value proposition, and I am not just speculating here. We've been testing our hypothesis since May 2022. We very quickly signed up 65 small businesses who were so excited to start working with us immediately. We are generating $25,000 a month in gross delivery fees. But we have a pipeline of many multiples of this, and we could ramp up quickly if we had the operational bandwidth and improvement in product to do so. That's why we're asking for $500,000, and it's not just to keep things the way it is. Over the next 12 months, we'll be onboarding another 500 businesses, and this will take us to $3 million a year in recurring revenue. We know that Blush has legs outside of just the Greater Toronto area where we're operating today, but we're going to take our time in building a playbook so we can strategically expand into new Canadian geographies and the northeast of the United States. You can find out more by checking out our website, blsh.online, or you can email me, Sarah, also at blsh.online. Thank you so much.
Hi. Food is a basic need. In North America, the market for independent grocers is $360 billion. Yet, 70% of the 30,000 of them don't sell online. Selling groceries online is expensive and difficult. You need to digitize the thousands of products in your store, set up an omni-channel point of sale, the website, and the delivery logistics. At AP Presto, we help grocers sell online easily. We turn the grocery store into a warehouse. How? We digitize the product and sell them on a marketplace. To validate the market, we launched a website, digitized 20 stores in Montreal, and sold for $130,000 of GMV over 24 months. On the B2B, our ideal customer is a store in the health food space, where we sold for nearly $30,000 within a year. This represents 6% of the yearly revenue. In 5 years, 20% of the grocery sales would be online. I'm Walid, co-founder and CEO of AP Presto. My brother Jalil is the CTO. We're both engineers, passionate to solve problems with big impact. Our solution is unique. Cheap and fast digitization. We use AI to digitize the store. From a picture, we extract all the features from each product and add them quickly online. We target independent and specialty stores while competitors target big chains. Third, we don't have any shoppers. The store prepares the orders and we pay nothing for that. Over the last 6 months, we developed a digitization proof of concept with an accuracy of 80%. We secured $200,000 in grants and subsidies. We doubled the number of stores in our pipeline. Now we are raising a pre-seed round of 1.5 million Canadian dollars for 18-month runway. Our goal is to digitize 200 stores, develop our digitization tech, website, and mobile apps. Thank you.
Sugar. It's in everything that we eat, from breakfast cereals to vitamins. It's found in almost all food and beverages products out there, making it really impossible to avoid. And although it's an essential ingredient of life, the truth is we're just eating way too much of it. And this is a problem because sugar is a major contributor to chronic inflammatory illnesses, killing 3 in 4 people every single year. Sugar crops are also some of the most polluting crops on Earth, causing deforestation, water shortages, and it's the 3rd largest emitter of greenhouse gases amongst all crops. And although there's a lot of sugar substitutes out there in the market, in reality, most consumers don't like them, citing concerns over adverse health effects and off flavors. So without a good sugar replacement, how do we address our sugar addiction sustainably? And at BioEffect, this is the problem that we're solving by creating a natural protein sweetener 2,000 times sweeter than sugar. And unlike other sugar substitutes, this is a protein, which means it won't affect your blood sugar levels and it's easy to digest. Our sweetener also tastes like sugar and it doesn't have bitter off flavors. It can be used to reduce or replace sugar in products so that finally we can all have our cake and eat it too, guilt-free. We make this protein by fermenting friendly microbes, just like making beer, wine, and insulin. And with this method, we can sustainably create our protein sweetener without needing to grow any crops in the process. We're a diverse team of PhD founders with extensive technical expertise, guided by experienced business mentors and organizations around the world who help us stay ahead of the curve. We conceptualized our idea in March and got accepted into the world-renowned ProVeg incubator in Germany. Within 3 months, we demonstrated proof of concept, obtained LOIs, and won People's Choice Award at Demo Day, representing Canada on the world stage. We're working on a lab scale right now and looking to scale our production of our product to get to market fast by 2024. And to do that, we're raising our pre-seed round and looking for mission-aligned investors to help us reach this goal. I look forward to working with you as we embark on this journey together to promote a sustainable planet, one protein at a time. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Jason, CEO and co-founder at Tibu Health.
And I'm Peter, CTO and co-founder at Tibu Health. And we're building Africa's first omni-channel service delivery model where we're able to connect seamlessly our patients to healthcare services wherever they work, live, and click.
So me and Pete connected in 2017 to try and fix the terrible experience and user journey problem that plagues millions of Africans. On average, people spend about 7 hours getting basic outpatient services, and on top of that, the experience is terrible. So the average NPS score for healthcare services on the continent is -5. We're at 98. And so since we launched, we've coordinated care for about 40,000 patients across our platforms. And now we'd love to be part of the YC family to be able to tap into some of these great brains and help us scale across the continent.
Yeah, so the best example of us would be the carbon health of Africa. So we're looking forward to being part of the family. And if you're ever in Kenya, feel free to try our services.
Nailed it.
Hello, my name is Amit and I'm the founder of Full Funders. I'm just going to explain in 2 minutes video pitch. So, with increase of number of global startups clinching to 140K a year, the startup ecosystem is seeing a massive growth and will continue to rise, while US, China, and India remains in top three position in the global startup. Soon, we would be witnessing startup rides in tier two and tier three cities of the emerging economies, specifically in Eastern Europe and Africa. On the other hand, there are like 50 million creators active today, and 50 millions represent 0.63% of the global population. So there's a huge demand that will come up for the creators' perspective as well. With so many startups and creators coming up globally, the issue with the funding gets more vulnerable. Only 0.03% of the global startups are funded by the VCs, angels, while the others stumbles upon their fate. To eliminate this huge funding gap, we are launching a DeFi reward-based crowdfunding platform, the Pool Funders. Pool funders will allow creators and startups to raise initial fund to kickstart their startup. In return, the micro investors get a Pool Funders token and an NFT on their investment. The team consists of myself as a founder, and I'm a mathematician with 12 years of experience in business strategy and project management, along with my co-founders, one having a decade of experience in marketing and sales, while the other having 4 years of experience in AI and blockchain with an MTech degree under her belt. We wish to raise $250,000 next 3 months, for which we would be giving 10% of equity and 5% of the Pool Funders token from the max supply of 1 billion in circulation, with a value in itself of 250K for the 5%. We need smart funding, so looking not only to get funding of 250K USD, but also some mentoring session to get going. If you want to be a part of this exciting journey, then please contact us on 251-332-0302, or you can email me at ag@centralocus.com. Thank you.
My name is Chris Roebuck, and I'm really excited to walk everybody through our company and the amazing piece of technology that we've created. As most of you may or may not know, the most valuable digital channel of 2021 and 22 has been video, with over 90% of marketers employing video within their strategies. But the biggest challenge with video is the fact that it remains untouchable and passive. And we believe that creates billions of dollars in lost opportunities between content creators and consumers across categories. But we also believe that creates a massive opportunity to ultimately alter the future of video and create a direct path to purchase to items or information inside video that connects the brand to the consumer and that consumer to the brand very effectively. So welcome to Clicktivated, where we've now created patented technology that connects that viewer to any individual item or product inside video as they watch. And we've created a super clean, non-intrusive user experience that allows them to freely engage with the products of interest inside the video. So what you're looking at is an example. We educate the viewer going into the video, then we also reinforce it in the top left corner. And then at any point in time, if something catches your eye, you can click on it. Maybe like those pants, maybe like that tank top in the back. And you see those items are now seamlessly gathering over on the right side of the video, which gives consumers the freedom, the flexibility to click on whatever is of interest to them. More importantly, the brands now have a brand new path to connect their consumers to their products and ultimately protect their most valuable and asset, which is video, and create that direct path to monetization or engagement with their consumers. And because of this, we've seen phenomenal validation and traction, not only here in the US, but abroad as well. But the other thing that I like to point out is it's not just in e-commerce. We've seen extreme traction and response within auto, within travel and tourism. So they're using our technology for information and educational purposes. And because of this diversity in the channels and industries, we've seen an incredible amount of interest within the last couple months alone. We've seen our pipeline double in the last 6 to 8 weeks across categories. This year alone, we're looking at surpassing just about $1 million in sales, which is very exciting. And we're looking at expanding that pretty dramatically next year. But because of this, we know we need to continue to invest in our company from a personnel standpoint and development. So we're raising $1.5 million to grow our sales team to keep up with the demand, and then continue to build what we need to build on the development side, from self-serve tools, better data, and continue to build our automated in-video item recognition, which we've already gotten patented. Our end goal is to exit by 2025 And I know this was really quick, but happy to walk anybody through the full story and share any additional information. Please feel free to reach out, chris@collectivated.com. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that. That was fantastic. Jeff and Jeffrey, so many Jeffs in my life.
Perfect. Welcome. Thanks everybody for joining us. Jeff, how are you today?
Very good, thank you.
For the impromptu jump into to the chat, thank you for doing that.
And Jeff, maybe also, so Jeff is also a growth partner too. So maybe you wanted to tell them a little bit about that too, since you're here.
Sure, let me get my video going as well.
There you go.
There we go. Hello, everybody. So yeah, Silicon Valley in Your Pocket is a partner with Supporters Fund and OPN, and we have a virtual online acceleration and coaching platform for startups. We've been around for about 4 years. Yeah, about 4 years, and we've worked with probably through this platform, we probably worked with over 1,000 entrepreneurs from about 40 countries around the world. So it's very focused on international founders, international to the United States, and particularly while it's helpful for those in their respective markets, it's also quite helpful for those that are interested in entering the US marketplace. So happy to share more with anyone if anyone's interested, but that is not my purpose here today. So just thank you for the introduction window, Laura and JP.
Yeah, we're just thrilled to have you here. So
Perfect.
it's nice of you to join us.
Exactly. You can share your LinkedIn contact, Jeff, as well. That way people can add you on to LinkedIn and reach out to learn more about the business. So I think that's obviously going to be pretty exciting for them. And there's a lot of value that gets provided in Silicon Valley in your pocket. So it's pretty amazing. So certainly worth checking out. But today we wanted to jump in and just ask some real hard-hitting questions to an investor, especially one in San Francisco, which everybody gets excited to know that. So I'm sure you get flagged on a street. They're just like, there's an investor, and they chase you down because you're in Silicon Valley. So that's pretty amazing. So
that's why I've learned to run so fast.
Well, maybe what we'll start with is maybe you can share a little bit about what you look for when you are working with startups. You do get to see a lot of companies pitch every day, not only through your own brand and your product, but through different setups where you join and rank startups. You guys work with startups and accelerators. So you do so much in this space. Are there 1, 2, 3 things that you would recommend for early stage companies to ensure they either put in their deck or that they talk about or share that really reflects well to you and to most investors?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a common question, is kind of what are we looking for? And I think I was a serial founder, entrepreneur and founder in my early part of my career, and I think I never had the answer to it then. Not sure I have the exact answer now, but I probably have a better perspective on it at this stage. I would say, one of the most important things for founders to understand is communicating your story. You could have a brilliant idea, but if you can't communicate it well and the story doesn't capture the essence of your brilliant idea, it's going to be very challenging. So I think the storytelling side of your business, and really a pitch deck is that. It's just your little short story of your business. It talks about all the reasons why it exists, the problem that exists in the market, why your solution is the best solution, and how it's differentiated and things of that sort. So making sure that that storytelling element is really nailed is important. And recognize investors, if investors are receiving lots and lots of pitch decks, for example, they're probably going to spend, somewhere south of 60 seconds looking at your deck. So you have to be very, what I call, you need compelling brevity. You have to say what you need to say very short, but it still needs to be very compelling. And each line or each slide of your story has to give somebody the concept or the idea that they want to hear the next, right? Don't think you have to tell every element of your story in the first, pass. You have to tell enough to intrigue the interest and pique the interest of an investor. So get very good at telling your story. And the other thing I'll say is the most frequent answer I think a lot of startups get from investors when they finally get an opportunity to present to them is, this sounds interesting, come back when you have more traction. And so our guidance to a lot of founders is, stop asking for investment and start asking for traction. Meaning, start asking certain companies if you can conduct a pilot with them. Conducting a pilot will show that you can actually deliver the promise of your solution. So focusing on what I call the MVP. A lot of people talk about MVP, minimum viable product. We actually think that's kind of uninteresting or not interesting. We think MVT is much more interesting, and that's minimum viable traction. All an MVP tells somebody when you share with them that you have an MVP is that you know how to build something. MVT tells them you know how to build something that somebody's going to derive benefit from and care about. So those would be a couple of thoughts that come to my mind. I'll leave it at that for the moment.
Well, I'm going to say that if we were on a podcast right now, I'd say brilliant. And then I will reiterate a few of those because I'm going to treat it just like a podcast, just like we do. And I love the fact that you talk about the storytelling side. So really focus in on that story that you're sharing. I think that really makes a big difference. And of course, make it short, sweet, and to the point. Don't talk about every single aspect of your business. People aren't looking to learn about your entire business in one go. They're looking to look at just a small portion of it, which is, how does this thing make money? What is this about? And investors are looking for, what is that execution? But I want to take it back even a little bit further back into this process of getting into the funnel. And you talked about that investors receive a lot of pitch decks. So I'm going to say that everybody on here is probably wondering, how do they get pitch time? How do they get in front of you? How do they get in front of all of these investors? And what I'm probably going to say is that, or I'll preface it for you on this, is, are there some tactics that people can look at when they are an early stage company and they're reaching out to people? I think what we all want to do is this buckshot spray, that if I just go and I ask every single person that has investor in their title, they're going to talk to me. And if they don't, at least they'll have got to see my name. Is that the best approach that you feel is a good way to attack this? Or is there something that's more curated and more accurate that will get me in front of somebody?
I think the easiest way to get in front of the right people with the right tone is a warm introduction. Now, a warm introduction doesn't need to be a family member of the person or a best friend. As a guy who works with a lot of founders, I would say if you looked at my sent folder, probably 20-25% of the emails that go out are me reaching out to somebody on behalf of a founder. And there's a difference. If you're an investor who gets a lot of inbound, kind of, hey, you're a guy with money, we're a company that needs money, we're perfect. There's a lot of that has to get filtered out. And so most of that gets ignored or gets very quickly perused without a lot of consideration. And the way to get through that is, they hear from a lot of founders, right? So if you can find somebody who's credible, maybe an advisor to your company that can do that outreach on your behalf, I don't mean this to sound dismissive. They should respond to all emails. But the reality is they get a founder that says, I'm a founder, I need money. You're an investor, you have money, please help me. That's different than, I'm a co-founder of a startup accelerator, and I work with a lot of innovative founders. I'm an angel investor myself. Take a look at the email below from one of my founders. They're looking to connect with you. They have great reasons why they're looking to connect with you. I thought it would make sense if I reached out on their behalf. If you wouldn't mind taking a brief call with me to suss out if there's an opportunity here, that'd be great. That kind of an outreach, coming from someone like JP who runs a fund, coming someone like me who does angel investing, runs accelerator programs, people who are in some ways considered more like a peer to the individual who's the recipient of that message, is the received rate or the open rate and the response rate I get to those outreaches is dramatically higher than what the founders themselves get to the identical people in many cases. So I think really looking for someone in your network, and I need to clarify, I don't always know these people we're reaching out to, but it's my who I am, my position as this fund manager, angel investor, advisor, accelerator person. That's the thing that they look at and respond to it differently than a message or an email coming from a founder themselves.
No, I love that. That's awesome. And it's so easy to have somebody that you already have a relationship with, be able to be your backer and to be able to just give a little nudge to somebody else to say, hey, you should talk with this person. I think they're going to bring some value to your day, even if it's only 20 minutes. Is there another angle that you can also approach with that, which is while you're going through your network and trying to ask people to network you and introduce you to people, is there another approach where you feel that you should get out and pitch at every single event? Is that something that can bring value to your brand and to your getting in front of investors? Is that a big portion of also opening doors?
Listen, if you've created a little bit of a name recognition and somebody could say, oh, I've heard about you through the kind of the ecosystem or just through the network in the space, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think the greatest value you get from events where you can pitch is refining your story and getting feedback. I mentioned storytelling. The story is never finished, right? It's always in edit mode. You always have to keep the edit mode on and improve it. So, for me, I think, yeah, if you can do more and more pitch events, get more feedback, get more input, you don't need every investor in the audience to love what you're doing. You need one or two. So it is a numbers game. But the other thought that's in my head is you want to make sure the story isn't running stale. You don't want to be in the pitch circuit for months and months and months without, seeming like you're off the pitch circuit because you have, presumably had some success and don't need to be out on the pitch circuit anymore. So I would just be cautious about how long you're out there doing that. And if you are continuing on that circuit, hopefully you're raising the next round or securing a different pilot or able to talk about more traction. So hopefully the story continues to improve as time's going on.
And you mentioned something great about this story that's improving. When you look at what this is it KPIs that you set for yourself? Is it saying that if I raise my first round today, this is where the business is sitting? And then I look at, say, seed, and I say at seed, I'm going to be doing X. So I need to target and go after that. So when you're going back and pitching again or modifying your pitch as you go, are these the tactics that you want to throw out at people when you are pitching everywhere? Is saying, in the last 8 months, this is what we've accomplished, and then go into your pitch to really show that, the last time you may have seen me, I was brand new, and today we've accomplished this, and it's only been 8 months. Is that a lot of value that will really hang well with investors when they start to hear you on the circuit or hear you once in a while?
Yeah, I think focusing again on traction, right? I talked about MVP versus MVP. That's all the focus is on traction. One of the biggest risks for early stage investors is execution. Execution risk, meaning can the team execute? If they're listening to your idea for, say, a minute or more, they already like the idea well enough to say, okay, this is kind of an interesting idea. But then immediately they're going to start to question, is this the team that can actually execute? Because that's where there's three top reasons why companies fail. The first is there's really no product market fit. 42% of startup failures happen because there actually is not a market for your thing, whatever your thing is. The second reason is you run out of money, and that's because you're focused so much on raising capital, you're never actually moving the business forward. And I understand it takes money. It's chicken and egg. I get that. But the third reason is you have the wrong team. And that is such a critical part of execution. If you have the right team, you'll know how to make the pivots. The right team will figure things out. So getting that right team and talking about that traction and improving, adding advisors that have great market credibility, adding pilot opportunities with recognizable, whether they're recognizable brands or at least recognizable progress, I think is important. So constantly highlighting anything and everything that your team's doing that demonstrates execution capability. I think it's critical to win over the hearts and enthusiasm of investors.
I love it. I think one thing that I'll add into that, which might be good practice to start, is that once you're creating a data room and you're trying to open up value so that people can jump into kind of review where you're at, I think you should also document every person that you pitch, Excel it out if that's where you're monitoring this, and then put what stage they fit in and ask these questions to the investor, what stage they fit in from investing standpoint. Are they high risk? Do they like to be the first money in? Do they like to come in as 10th money, 20th, 100th? Find out where they fit, because what that will do is that when you pitch them the first time, and then you've been documenting your growth from the KPI perspective, and you get to that 8-month window, they might actually be a little bit better to go back and pitch them again, because they'll want to see where you have kind of gone to. And they'll be willing to take that because they gained interest the first time you pitched. But if you don't document where they sat in the funnel and where they fit in the investment cycle, you may never actually go back to them and realize that they probably would have invested. They just were looking for more security. And I think we all have to figure out what that security level is for each investor.
JP, I'll add one thought to that. I think end every meeting with 2 questions to these kinds of people that JP is talking about. One is, can I put you on my email list to keep you updated, so that when you have a newsletter update or say a progress update for the company, you want to make sure they're open. So you ask the permission for them to be on that list and receive your updates. And then the last question you absolutely should end almost every investor-oriented meeting on is, who else should I be speaking with? Because that becomes a little bit of its own warm introduction. Because even if they don't make the intro for you, you can then go to that next person and say, hey, I was meeting with JP and he suggested I talk with you. That in and of itself is warmer than just me reaching out to somebody, because there I'm bringing a common person between me and the other individual I'm writing out to. So those 2 things I would encourage you to end all of your conversations with is, can I keep you updated? And who else in your network do you think would be interested in what we're doing that you would suggest I speak with?
I love it. I love to share that with founders as well, is to always go into every meeting with an ask. What is it that you need out of that meeting? So if that's an intro, ask for that intro and make sure you ask for it. Ask for a name. They're going to feel uncomfortable. They might look like they've deer in headlights, but just push them a little bit. Hey, I need some help. I'm looking to go this direction. This will help somebody actually open up a little bit of their network to you and give you a name, which I think is brilliant. And then I think the last thing that you want to do, and this is going to be the home run for you in a meeting. This is for what every startup needs to do. If they haven't done it, then today is the day you're going to start doing this. Turn around and ask the investor what you can do for them. I guarantee you that when you do that, the investor will be deer in headlights, because nobody asks the investor what you can do to help them. And that investor may say, you know what, I appreciate it. I don't know what to say, but thank you. That will change the whole dynamics of that interaction that you just had with that investor, because it's always one-sided. And I'll tell you that every time a startup person asks me that, and I'll say it's 1 out of every 10,000, is that when that startup asks me, I have more reason to want to help them get somewhere, because they took the time to actually see if I needed something. And it sounds so small and minute, but I just find that it really just turns the tables, because it's someone that's doing it both sides and helping each other out. So
I love that idea, JP. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And the reality is, probably 8 or 9 times out of 10, they're not going to have anything to fill in, but you 100% of the time you get credit for the question. So I think it's a great way to build goodwill and rapport. One other thing I'll say, investors we're just, everybody's all, busy. We're all busy. Every one of you is very busy. We're all very busy. So if you need me to refer you to somebody in my network, make life easy for me. In our program, for example, we've templatized everything. So I have a template. If you reach out to me and say, hey, I see you're connected to so-and-so on LinkedIn, could you connect me? I actually have a template that I'm going to send back to you and say, sure, send me this, fill it out, tweak it, make it personal, and then send it back to me. I'm going to hit forward, and I'll put a little cover note on top of it. But I've actually taken the time to write out the email someone has to send me in order to ask me to introduce them to someone in my network. Why? Because I'm lazy, I'm tired, I'm busy. Make it easy. All I have to do is hit forward, put a little cover note on top of it, and I introduce people to people in my network all the time. And that's not just on a local San Francisco basis. You don't know where people's networks are. You could be traveling anywhere in the world and you don't know who knows somebody there. JP and I ourselves have good history of making certain connections around the globe that maybe were surprising, that they happened, but he was traveling about in all sorts of places. And in many of those cases, it turned out I actually did have some people that I was able to connect him with in my network to help him expand his network and help my contacts expand theirs to include him.
That's a beautiful thing. And I'll say, Jeff, everybody everywhere. So I wouldn't say only knew a few people. I feel like you introduced me to half of every country in Africa that I was in. So I think it's brilliant. And I'm going to just reiterate that there's a couple of really, again, valid points that you're sharing there. Is always have a templated email for an intro ready to go, short and sweet, so that when you want someone to make an intro, you can fire that over and they'll do that right away for you. And do it while the iron's hot. So as soon as comes up in a conversation, be able to punch that over so that you can forward that email onto your contact. Ask for one thing when you go to every meeting. Warm intros are going to be guaranteed a big way to help you move forward. Ask the investor what you can help them with. I think those are 4 great things that can help you move this funnel a little bit quicker. And I think the last one, just so that we have a nice rounded 5, is curate who you're going after. The buckshot spray is going to be great to a point. It's going to maybe trigger 1 or 2 extra people that you may not have thought about. But if you're really trying to hone in your management style, really focus on the people that have invested in the categories that you're in. Everything is about de-risking your business. If you're going to go and ask someone, you're in deep tech, and you're going to go ask someone that has only invested in apparel, you're going to have a tough time trying to convince them that deep tech is really cool when they will probably have limited understanding of that platform or that business, where they're going to understand apparel a lot easier. So go after the people originally that really will understand what you're doing. And that's going to help you move quicker and faster through the investment cycles, because it is going to take a lot of your time. Like Jeff mentioned earlier on, it's a long battle, and you're going to spend a lot of time reaching out and trying to close deals. So go after the people that are going to have focus in your area.
Two quick things.
I was just going to add one thing, like when going back to that, what can I do for you? What makes me remember a startup is when they flip it around and they're like, well, I want to learn about you, so I know if you're a good fit for my company, right? Not everybody does that. And I think that you have to also do that.
Which lines up to doing your own homework. So when you're talking with a group that you're going after, make sure you know things about them, that they fit, so that you can bring them up, but also at the same time, interview them, because that also shows that you did your homework. I remember you guys did X, Y, Z. Is that the case? Because I seem like I'm a great fit. You invested in these guys, which also was a good fit for me. So I think that lines up your aspirations, but also lines up the conversation you're having. And that goes to the real sniper shot approach to how you're having those discussions with investors and or founders on the other side of the table.
It's a great segue. I just included in the chat window a link to just one of my introductory kind of email templates. And in there, I talk about, as you guys, the founders, writing to me, hey, would you introduce me to such and such investor in your network? I've been following them for, a period of time, and I noticed on a YouTube video that I watched recently of them, and therefore you're showing them that you've done the homework. You do know a little bit about them. You do believe, based on that research, not just because they're an investor, but based on something specific about that individual, that they would make an interesting connection for you. So I've actually captured the essence of what Laura and JP are talking about there. The one last thing that's in my head is, great advisory boards can happen early on. If you can attract the right advisors, the caliber of the team, I talked about it earlier, really makes a massive difference. So I'll give an example. I have a young hardware company, pre-revenue. They've got an interesting hardware solution, and it operates in the apparel industry. And so I thought, well, how do I help get them surrounded by great people who can give credibility to their hardware side of their business and also credibility to their apparel industry, clothing side of their business? 2 advisors I was able to recruit for this company, again, pre-revenue. One was the former president of Dyson, the global company that makes really cool kind of tech hardware products. And the other is this founder of the North Face, a very recognizable apparel brand. So now imagine how people will respond when they see the team slide, and those 2 individuals are on the advisory, part of the team. It makes a big difference, right? If you're looking at a bunch of slides and you say, is this team capable to execute? And all of a sudden you see the former president of Dyson and the founder of the North Face on the advisory board, you probably say, oh, wow, these guys are, surrounding themselves with amazing people with great credibility, great experience. They're probably being guided very well. And if those people are on the advisory board, this operating team, who I probably don't recognize anybody specifically, but they must be doing something well because they've attracted some incredible, great advisors. So think about leveraging advisors, which can be done in much earlier stages. Again, this is a pre-revenue company, and we were successfully able to recruit some advisors of that caliber. So that can make a huge difference there.
100%. Very well shared. And I think everybody needs to go in and check out Silicon Valley in your pocket, because there's a lot of valuable insights that Jeff shared, and you can certainly find some that he's posted on the Dropbox. I posted earlier at one of the interviews, which some of this content that we're talking about today is in the early podcast. That was, I think, number 27. So that was 100 podcasts ago, Jeff. We might have to do a new one just because it was so it seems like it was eons ago and it was really only a year back, but lots of great content there and great things that you can learn from Jeff in his techniques on how to get you ready for investment. All very valuable. So Jeff, maybe to kind of end things off, we don't want to take up all of your time and everybody else's time today, but maybe to end things off, is there any points that you want to share kind of outside of the pieces that we talked about, just footnotes for the startups on what things that they should be looking for when they're moving forward in their business? Is there any red buttons, hot spots, or anything like that that you want to say, hey, take a look, watch out for this, but keep your eye on the ball, focus, keep it simple, whatever those things are, and leave it to you to share. And but thank you for jumping in and your time today.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess I don't know, hearing your question, I guess two things pop into my head, just more as a kind of a piece of guidance or inspiration or advice, which goes as simple as this: ignore the no's. There will be a lot of people that tell you, no, your idea is not going to work. It's, they'll have all sorts of wet blanket negativity. Maybe they're right, but prove it to yourself. If you believe in what you are doing, and you wouldn't have anything but belief in what you're doing, or you wouldn't be the founder of your startup, push forward and prove to yourself if it's really got the opportunity to be a success. So many people have said no to me, and I always say the most motivating thing I ever hear is no, because it just energizes me to prove them wrong. Now, again, maybe they've been proven right after a while, then I realize, oh, dang, that was they were correct. I should have stopped sooner. But I believe you should push through the no's, because too many people it's easy for someone to say no about your idea. If they didn't think of it, they already don't think it's a brilliant idea, or they would have thought of it. So just ignore the no's, push through, follow your beliefs, stay focused. And the second thing I would say, and this is really a fairly new thing for me, and JP, I don't know, I'm curious your reaction to this comment as well, but in the last, say, 5-6 months, with the economy in North America and the US, but not just the US, it's happening in many places. As the economy's tightened and gotten more challenging, investments are getting harder. So investors are being more selective, valuations are being pressured down. One of the things I've started referring to people is to expand in an inclusive way, not at the expense of, but expand the blinders in the ways you're opening up and looking at various funding sources. And where I'm leading to is I've actually had 4 companies in the last 4 months successfully launch crowdfunding platform campaigns. That is not a kind of a funding source I was normally recommending for a variety of reasons prior to the last several months. But in the last 4 or 5 months, I've successfully seen 4 companies that have come through my acceleration or coaching platforms successfully be able to launch crowdfunding campaigns. And I've noticed a couple of things about them. The valuations pressures are very different. You will not be asked about valuation, in fact, as opposed to any angel investor or institutional. You will be pressured about valuation right now. And I don't mean that's a bad thing. They should pressure it. If they don't believe it, you have to be able to validate and justify it. But retail investors have very different perspectives on investing than institutional or professional investors. And so I've just been intrigued by that myself. Again, it's not something I would have said outside of 6 months ago, perhaps, but I would say, again, in an inclusive way, expand and consider looking at some of the crowdfunding. I have one company, they've raised over $7.5 million on crowdfunding. And I'm just blown away by that, to be honest. I wish I could say I knew they'd have a huge success. I had no idea, but they've been very successful. And it's not just for B2C companies by any stretch. There's great B2B examples as well, which also surprised me. And I'm happy if anyone is interested to learn more about that or talk about that, I'm happy to avail myself to that conversation. And my LinkedIn is on there, and I'll put an email address out here in the chat window as well. Again, not just as another funding source in these challenging economic times.
And Jeff, we've also partnered with Front Funder so far, so I'm sure we'll add more in. So anybody that's interested in doing that, happy to review and then send it over with an intro to Will at Front Funder. But
yeah, that's great to hear, actually.
Yeah, we have that experience too. Some of our portfolio companies they've done a variety of different ways, to get the money that they need today. So
absolutely, you gotta fill the tank with gas at some point, and that money has to come from somewhere. So if institutionals are being challenging, look in other directions, not at the expense of, but in including these other channels. That would be a piece of counsel I would offer.
yeah, 100%. And we're starting to bring in a lot more debt financing and shred and grants into the community as well. So those ones are coming as well. So as we grow it.
I was talking with a large group of startup founders through Web Summit yesterday, and one of the topics did come up around this, and it was the drive for smart money. And I'm a big fan of the concept of smart money, but I don't think that is really defined. It's such a broad term. So my ideal way of smart money is you find one or two investors or investment groups that have a love and a passion for the market and the space you're going at, and then everybody else becomes secondary value. You don't have time to work with everybody and put hours and hours into every investor. So the smart money is who is at the umbrella, who's actually there supporting you. The rest of the investors still are smart money, but you're utilizing them for their networks, utilizing them on touch points throughout your business. They're going to help support you and help you grow, but you can't focus on everybody being smart money where they're going to put hours and hours of time into you. So you need to focus on one or two people that will help you for a year or whatever that time frame is, and everybody else is layering in capital to support the growth and opportunity of your business. And utilizing Front Funder and these other platforms where you can generate dollars is key. It's golden. We partnered with them, we invested in them. Like, our whole mindset is that there's many verticals of capital coming in, and the social side is really starting to pick up because a lot of people are looking at brands. They like helping the underdogs, they like helping the startups that get out there because they use the brand. And if there was one thing that I would add to investment thesis, is that you, in the markets, you invest in companies that you like. If you're a big Apple fan, you'll probably want to buy Apple stock. You support the companies that you utilize because you're a fan of them. Well, this goes all the way down to the startup products. When you start to build brand, people want to support the brands that they like using. If that's a new shampoo or a new software, whatever that might be, those are the things that are going to generate value, and they want to get in behind you. So they want to see you succeed as well and say, hey, I got into this small company, and then in 5 years be able to tell everybody that that company is now $1 billion revenue-based company. That all comes from building out socially and building out a strong brand. So I think to your point, stay focused and find unique ways to generate revenue is awesome. And we wholeheartedly support that. We think it's a great way to maintain and grow your business. So keep thinking big and stay focused and look for great ways to find people to come in and help you out. But I'll say 1,000,000 times over, pitch, and pitch some more, because the more times you pitch, the more times you're going to learn about your business, and you will always change your pitch because you'll get bored of saying the same repetitive pitch, and you'll find new things about your business. And a lot of people will start to find attractiveness to your business, and you'll find that you'll start to grow and get a lot of people following you and wanting to be part of your network. So I don't know if there's anything else I can share. We could probably talk for days and hours, Laura and Jeff, on all of this. Very exciting, but for everybody's getting back to the hustle and to the work, I guess we'll leave it there. I'll turn it over to Laura, but Jeff, thanks for jumping in and sharing great information.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for inviting me to do that. And I will drop off here, but it was really great seeing all the pitches, and I will fill out my form as soon as I hang up, and look forward to the next one. So thanks so much, everybody.
Thanks, Jeff. We have
Bye, guys.
the best investors in our network, honestly. So they're all very supportive, just like Jeff. So that was awesome. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. I know some of you have been here like since 12:30. So like me, my butt is sore. So, but thank you so much. I hope that was not intended at all. So I hope you got some value out of that. But thanks, everybody. Vote. We'll be announcing it in the coming days on the winner, and you can spend some time with me or Jeffrey. I'm guessing Jeffrey, or maybe Jeff Wallace. We'll see. you guys can book. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you very much for joining, everybody. Have a great day.